أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Today is Yawm al-Quds, the last Friday of the month of Ramadan. And I am standing here in Dallas next to the JFK Memorial and bringing this to you so that we can protest at the same time and give you the show and the program from here. Regarding this day, the last Friday, it has been mentioned in many of our places that it is a very important day spiritually for all believers because it's the last Friday before Eid al-Fitr. And hence we do whatever we can to say goodbye to the month of Ramadan and to make these last days count in our actions, in our du'as, in the things that we do. Now, when we look at our actions, we see that there are things that we do that are for ourselves, like prayers, it's for ourselves. Du'as are for ourselves. Any actions that we do, they're all for ourselves. But some things that we must do for Allah. When we come out here and raise the flag of Islam and speak for the oppressed people and speak against injustice, this is something that we are doing for Allah and for the Imam. That counts more than anything else. And today, that's why we see that our leaders have called this Friday Yawm al-Quds, that we come out here and speak out against the wrong that is happening in the world. At the heart and crux and the most important of it is the existence of Israel and their illegitimate existence in this world cannot be tolerated. Now, when we do Yawm al-Quds, a lot of people, they come out because they have faith and trust in our leaders, but they don't understand why it's being done and what's wrong with Israel and what's wrong with having an Israeli state if they want to have it. If the rest of the world accepts it, why don't we also accept it? These are questions that a lot of people ask, and I've heard them from many corners, people asking these questions. So I just want to get to those questions and answer them so that there could be an understanding as to why we stand up against the wrong that is happening and against Israel specifically. When we look at wrong and something that's illegal or a criminal activity, unless it's not written in the books and known by the people, it won't be a crime. There are certain things that, yes, there are certain things that we know by our nature, by our instincts that it's wrong. For example, killing someone is wrong. We know that, so there doesn't need to be a law regarding it. If I kill someone else, then it is something wrong that I know. It's something that goes to our nature that this is wrong. But certain things are not. So there has to be a law for it. And as long as the law doesn't exist, then you can't call someone a criminal. And you can't arrest someone for doing it. For example, alcohol became haram. And Allah said alcohol is haram. Liquor is haram. Before that law came down, before Allah declared it as haram, it wasn't haram. People used to drink. No one used to catch them and punish them. It wasn't illegal. But once it did become illegal, and if you were caught drinking, you would be whipped for it. People will be whipped for doing drinking alcohol. So until that law is not made, you can't call someone a criminal. And once the law is made and accepted by everyone, and the world accepts it as a law, as a legal item that is recognized by the world of nations, then after that, if someone does the crime, then everyone is responsible for holding them and catching them and to make sure that it is stopped and it doesn't happen again. So yes, in the past, as people say, that the land of Palestine was captured and conquered by many people. At first it was the Jews, then it was the Christians, then it was the Muslims, and all these things were going on. Because there were no laws about conquering. In those days, the only principle that existed was might was right. It was a ignorant system of the past. Then a time came when the world got together and created laws, and they all accepted it. All human beings accepted laws, and they called it the United Nations, and they made a organization that's going to overlook the enforcement of these laws. And so when those laws were made, now it's important that they must be upheld. If they're not upheld, then they would become a joke. Then no one should practice it. No one would care about it. It's like you make a rule in the house, and if that child of yours, if your kid breaks that rule, then if you don't get him at that point, then he will have no respect for any rule after that. If he doesn't respect the rule at the beginning, and if you let that go, then there's no respect for it afterwards. It's going to be a joke then. So if the world got together and made the laws and created boundaries to be respected, then Palestine was a state. It was recognized. And after everyone accepted it as a country, as a nation, then it was invaded by the help of the British and the Americans. And Israel was formed illegally. If we let that go, then no borders should be enforced. No laws should be enforced that we all agreed on. It would be a joke that if we let Israel go. And hence the existence of Israel is a mockery on the face of the world. The existence of Israel is laughable, and it has to be condemned. The oppression on one hand, that's different. Just the existence itself, that how can you cross the borders of someone that have been recognized by the international body, and then you just go there and take that over and make your own country there. This cannot be tolerated. When Iraq did that to Kuwait, the world was outraged. So where is the outrage when it comes to Israel? Just because Israel has the backing of America, and America is backing them to their own detriment, to their own harm, is damaging America everywhere in the world. America, that was a superpower, now has crumbled from within because of its help and assistance to Israel. And we need to let the Americans know, stop assisting Israel and funding Israel, because this is illegitimate. And if it goes on, then everyone in the world should just not respect any law, because if we all cannot agree on something and this goes on, the oppression that Israel does obviously is documented. Everyone knows what's wrong with it. Today's message is for Yomul Quds. We are here, we want to raise that voice and get this message out to the people, to all the people, that this is something that is wrong and something that we will not stand, and we are going to speak out against it. And we know that our speaking out is making Israel, making them upset at what we are doing. We know that we are getting their attention, and it's okay, because that's what we want. We want their attention, and we know that they are going to fear any single voice that comes out, because that is the way of the oppressors. They are weak, they are scared, they are frightened, because they have done wrong. They have nothing to stand on. They want to build big buildings, but they have nothing to stand on, no foundation to stand on. If we raise a voice, that voice is going to reach them and break down their buildings. So just raise that voice, everyone, and bring it out there to the people. May Allah bless you all and keep us safe, and make this Ramadan a memorable one, and give us success in our actions, in our deeds, and in our goals that we are making for the Imam of the time. And may Allah hasten the reappearance of our Imam. Thank you very much. May Allah bless you all.